My name is Biz.
And I'm FLACKO. We from FLACKO N BIZ Bullies.
We're here to talk to you about Canine parvovirus today.
CPV.
We're just getting started. It's going to get bigger and better. You know, you got to start from the bottom up. We grinding. You know what I'm saying? We had to just go ahead and turn the camera on and just get it going. So this is us just getting it going. We got a game show. We're going to be giving away money. We're going to be giving away dogs.
Yeah, we're gonna try to have a little Q&A, you know, meet and greets, you know. We're gonna try to get people, you know, other kennels on here with us and stuff, you know, shoot the shit with us. You know, we have some edgy topics, stuff people don't want to talk about, you know. Shit, we might even have a scammer section because there's a lot of scammers out there, you know. Maybe we need to put some of these scammers up here, you know what I'm saying? And so people know not to go get scammed, because that is a big thing, you know. As I always say, mess with somebody you can trust. FLACKO N BIZ Bullies. Won't let you down.
We're going to always win because we don't compete with nobody and we just stay true to ourselves, you understand? So we're not competing with any of you other kennels. We want to rock with y'all. Yeah, we'll do interviews with you. We'll show your yard. We'll talk to you about what you got going on. Just tap in with us.
No hate. All love. Let's bring this Northwest and the rest of the nation together. All through the Bully channel. FLACKO N BIZ Bullies. So, I don't know. I would say every kennel I've known at least had to deal with this before. Majority dog owners, you know, stuff like that. It's out there. You know, you can have a healthy dog, take it to a dog park, and bam, parvo. You have a healthy dog, get out in your new front yard you just moved in. You know, you move into a new apartment, parvo. You know. Or
you can go to the pet store, go get some dog food, and get parvo on your shoes.
Parvo. So yeah. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna have a little discussion on parvo.
I made it like 4 years before I even had to deal with parvo at all.
I made it longer than that. Shit, you got parvo and I got parvo. You was 4 years into it. I was already doing it, you know, about 4 years before you, and still ain't had no parvo until then. So
and when it hit big. I lost 12 dogs.
Yep, and I lost 8, and a mom that was pregnant lost her litter. She survived, but she lost her whole litter. And then I had a puppy get sick right after that from a litter after that, but because of the stuff that we're going to tell you to get, that puppy is here, alive and well, running around, eating up all my food, doing all that, you know. So,
first thing, what is parvo?
All right.
CPV. It's called Canine parvovirus.
Canine parvovirus is a contagious virus mainly affecting dogs. CPV is highly contagious and is spread from dog to dog by direct or indirect contact with their feces. So, like we said, meaning anywhere a dog take a crap, you can get it. You can get it. Anywhere somebody that got a dog taking a crap and walks, no matter if they walk 1,000 steps, 2 steps, 1,000,000 steps, it's still on them, and it can actually live in soil for
very resilient. CPV can withstand the coldest temperatures. You can't freeze it. It won't die in the frost. It can't get too hot. It won't die from heat, and it'll stay around for years. It's just like you gotta assume that parvo is everywhere. So the best thing that you could do is just protect your dogs from parvo with the vaccine.
So parvo can live somewhere untreated for they say up to like 7 months. So even with treatments and everything, disinfectants, it still can beat those. It's very resilient. It's, you know, it can, like I said, we got concrete floors in here, and they get mopped and all that stuff. So
I even understand it can last longer than 7 months too.
It can, but like for the most part, it like unchecked and all that stuff, it can last 7 months before it starts to die off. But one of the things we use when we had parvo which was a real good savior, with some of this stuff and some of this stuff. This stuff is good for surface cleaning. This isn't gonna completely get rid of parvo, but it will help you disinfect areas that were in contact with a dog with parvo and help you keep it clean and all that stuff. This here kills the parvovirus, and I will say that none of my puppies have been sick from the yard after being treated, and we've sprayed this. So, what do you treat a dog with before they can get parvo? What do you use to treat a dog?
You mean like the vaccine?
Yeah.
So, when they're puppies, you can start off with this vaccine called Neopar. That's your first line of defense. When starting at how old would you say?
5 weeks for the first dose, 7 weeks for the second dose. And I will say, every one of those doses is critical. You don't give it 5 weeks and then skip on 7 weeks, because the puppy that got sick after the parvo outbreak got their 5-week shot, and we caught it just in time to give it a 7-week one, and it bounced back. The 5-week one gave it enough energy to where its body was fighting off the parvo. So the vaccine at 5 weeks gave it enough energy to help us see that it was sick, so we can give it that 7-week dose, and it bounced back. And literally, we just had to make sure we gave it subcutaneous fluids, and it bounced back.
So, what does parvo do to the dog? What are the symptoms? The first sign is the dog stop eating. They lose their appetite.
The lethargy. That's your big one. Everybody knows a puppy is energetic, running around. You know, your puppy might not eat. You might catch a puppy not eating. Sometimes they do that. But everybody knows when you come in and a puppy see you, they run to the cage, to the front of the cage. Wherever they can see you the best at. They fight for positioning, right? If your puppy isn't doing that, you might want to start checking on it.
On top of that, not eating, they'll be throwing up and they'll have diarrhea. And boy, does that diarrhea stink. It ain't no normal. It's not normal feces.
No.
It's distinct. You'll know that there's a problem.
Yeah, it has a enriching smell, like almost like it's almost like smelling death. It's like if you've ever smelled something dead and decaying, then you'll know that it's not good. That has a distinct smell. Well, parvo's like it's not that smell, but it has a distinct smell to it. Like if you're a breeder or you've had a dog for a long time, you know your dog's never had a shit that smelled like that. Never. Ever in his life. So if you catch a dog and there's diarrhea, blood is another indication. And we'll touch in on that, on why that happens. But those are very good indications that your dog is having an issue with parvo. And it isn't just puppies. We had dogs that are over a year and a half, catch parvo and get sick and almost die. Like I said, I had a mom with puppies in her. We don't breed till after the first heat, and she missed her second heat. So, her third heat, she's catching parvo and everything. So, number one, when it comes to your adult dogs, keep up on their vaccinations. Even if you do them yourself, make sure your dogs get the vaccinations. Keep a chart. We keep a chart up here on the wall that helps us with everything. We got our dog's weight, so we know how much of something to give it. We have our mother's birth dates on there, everything. A chart to help you, but especially with this. So,
what's the vaccination schedule? 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, and
a year, ain't it?
It's 8, and then 12 is 4 weeks after that, and then 16 weeks is 4 weeks after that, and then it's 6 months after that.
Yep.
So if you those four are really important to keep up on. You can save your dog from all the things that they can encounter with those 4 shots.
Yeah, because
And then once a year after that.
Yeah, and you know, it's good to get these dogs their shots because, like I said, when we had the outbreak, I kind of was, falling behind on our shots, and Princess caught Parvo, and almost lost Princess. Princess is a very, very special dog to us, and it just wasn't a good look. So, I'm telling you this from experience. Keep up on your dog shots. As far as a puppy, it's kind of hard, so that's why at 5 weeks you want to give them the Neopard. The reason you give them the Neopard at 5 weeks is because the colostrum the mom gives them is starting to wear off. Colostrum gives dogs antibodies to anything that mom has encountered, and even stuff mom hasn't encountered.
So what's colostrum?
Colostrum is something that is in the mom's milk. Like I said, it gives them antibodies. I'm not exactly sure on the 100% scientific breakdown of what colostrum is. We'll get back on another episode of that. We'll probably have like a short answer to that on another episode before you kind of stumped me on that one. You got it.
On a quick note, the first thing that comes out the mom is colostrum. It's not milk.
For 24 hours.
The purpose of born, the first thing that's going to come out is gold. It looks like 14, it looks like 24 karat gold. It's not milk. It's that, and that is their first immunity. That is what gives them their immunity right there. They get that for 24 hours, and that'll hold them as long
4
as
to 5 weeks. And so at 5 weeks, you definitely want to give it to them. So don't lax on that.
And then so this is
colostrum too. So if you can get this stuff from I got this from Amazon. I'm not sure if you can get it from any other brand of store, but you want to have colostrum. Colostrum is something that you can give your puppy you can give your puppy colostrum within first 24 hours of birth to help out. And it helps, with a range of things. It gives them energy. It's like crack to them. It's like giving a toddler a whole cup of sugar, like I said in the previous video. You want to make sure you give them that colostrum. If they're not taking it in the mouth, if they're not swallowing it, get a tube feeder.
If for some reason they're not feeding off of mom.
And so with Parvo, you're gonna have to give subcutaneous fluids. You have to give subcutaneous fluids. So with that being said, here goes your subcutaneous fluids.
That's because they're not eating, they're not drinking, so you have to keep them hydrated. They will not eating, not drinking, throwing up, and diarrhea will dry them puppies out. They will have no. They're like you said, when you check their skin to see if they're dehydrated and you pull on it, it'll just stay up there. It won't just snap back. So you have to put some fluids in them manually.
So this is a little 2 milliliter syringe. We got a whole box of them off Amazon. We'll put a link or the brand or whatever of what we bought in the comments. But this is vital during your fight through Parvo. If you don't have a drip system, you need this.
The drip system's even there. I used to use the needle, but now since I went through all of that with all of them dogs, I decided to use the drip system. I just put a nail in the wall, and I hang this up on the wall. That's the tube, and you just stick the tube. Same way that you would inject the needle. You put the tube up under their skin, and then you got the controller. You can slow it down, turn it off, or whatever, and just let it go. Just let it take its time and just drip.
You don't got to worry about the puppy doing a lot of moving at this time because they really don't. They're lethargic. They're lethargic, so they don't move. They really just stay in the same place. They don't get up and drink. They don't get up and eat. But you don't have to worry about foods because we're gonna get back to the blood in the stool. The reason that there's blood in the stool and the reason you don't want to worry about foods is because their intestines and their stomach lining swells and inflames. It's painful to them. So you don't want to be putting something in their stomach that they're gonna have to push out, and they're not gonna do it to themselves. They know already that they're in pain. They're gonna leave the food alone. So water, hydration, Pedialyte, this pup light stuff, tube feed. You can get a little bit of that into them.
Always make sure you wear your gloves. It's highly contagious.
You don't want to spread it to any other, and another thing, separate the first puppy you see sick.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. The vet told me that it was Parvo. I didn't believe him because I'm like, I've never dealt with Parvo before. So there's no way I have Parvo here. And he's like, I'm telling you it's Parvo, separate the puppy. Beyond better judgment, I didn't listen. Here we are today, and I lost that litter. Separate the puppy. Have a kennel somewhere on the other side of the room where its feces can't get to the other ones. As soon as they start pooping in there or throwing up, it's over. It's over for the other puppies. You either have to move them or you have to treat them all because that area is now contaminated. There's no quick decontamination. It takes a long time. You gotta wash it, bleach it, spray Parvo killer, keep it away for a while. You don't want to reintroduce it to your environment because it's highly contagious. Gloves, hand sanitizer, the whole 9 yards. You want to be as prepared as you can during this. Matter of fact, P's and Q's. What is it again?
The P stand for proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
We don't know what the Q's mean yet, but if you do, tap in. Let us know.
So you got the pharmacide, you got the parvovirus, and you got the other, the BTU. This is Perform X BTU.
You got any other input on it?
I was using bleach mats for all my exits in the rooms that the dogs were in. I would put a towel down on the mat and just wet it up with bleach so I could step in it so that I didn't step Parvo. Bleach kills Parvo, but it takes like 10 minutes. The bleach has to be on that surface for 10 minutes to kill the Parvo off of that surface.
Yeah.
So I would always leave my shoes or my slippers in the bleach and go on into the other room. When I come in, I step into them and I work in the room like that. And I always stayed wiping things down with bleach and then I always kept bleach in the sink in the bathroom. In the room that they were in has a bathroom. So I use bleach a lot, and also those things too, spraying around the whole room. But
me personally, I use more natural disinfectants like Simple Green and stuff because, like I said, I've had situations where dogs licked the floor after I got done cleaning with bleach and stuff like that, and they just got a little sick. So
one fact about bleach is it loses its
potency by volume of water
as it sits. The longer it sits, the less active it is. But I ran through when I had this Parvo situation. I probably ran through like 4 gallons.
Don't get me wrong. When we had Parvo, we use a lot of bleach too. Connor was in here cleaning a lot. We made sure every floor was mopped, every surface was wiped down. It's
the clothes.
Yeah, your clothes.
I'm not only am I stepping out of my shoes, but I'm pulling off of my clothes before I step into the house.
Yep.
And then I'm hanging them right there, and then I'm coming in, I put those back on, and I work, and then into the washing machine. Every day, something's going. I'm working like I'm using it for the day. I step out of it, go into the house, come in, put it on. By that night, into the washing machine. It was a hell of a cycle.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. A lot of people be like, your dog got Parvo, get it to the vet. If you just follow these simple instructions, they do the same thing you're gonna do. You can get a little bit of an antibiotic to help it out. Amoxicillin. That helps with the infection in the stomach once it starts to inflame and all that stuff. Anti-inflammatory. If you have one that's injectable. Because to be honest, I don't think they're gonna really want to swallow a pill. But if you can get it down their throat, that's also a good thing. But
the hard, honest truth is if it's a small dog, it may not survive.
Yeah, that's a
Because
sad
they're
thing.
gonna lose. They're gonna lose weight. They're gonna lose a lot of fluids. They're they're gonna lose because they're gonna be having diarrhea. They're gonna be throwing up. So you can try your best, but the smaller the dog is, the chance of mortality is great.
Yeah.
Bigger dogs like a year and older, they have a high possibility of surviving it because they got a lot of weight that they can lose. I had I had a bunch of puppies I lost, but I also had 2 big dogs that ended up contracting it also. And though both of those big dogs survived, they lost a little bit of weight, but they were big enough to get through it.
So, like you were saying, weight is a big thing with little puppies. So, as a puppy, their life is based off gain, how much they're eating. You know, a big dog doesn't need to eat because it doesn't need to gain. A big dog has gained its gains. It's got to where it needs to be. You know, at a certain age, it gets its height. At a certain age, it gets its bone and all that stuff. But a puppy at, 5, 8, 12 weeks, they need to constantly be gaining. That's why you gotta feed a puppy 3 times a day. That's why little puppies gotta eat every 2 hours, because they constantly gotta eat. They constantly have to have some type of gain. So you gotta think with Parvo, it's constant losses. Dogs peeing out its liquids. It's shitting out all its electrolytes. It's throwing up everything that it's got in its stomach. It's not gaining. It's not living. It's kind of at a standstill and a degrade. So like you said, the sad truth is your puppy might not make it. We're not saying that the steps that we're giving you while your puppy is sick will completely kill off the parvo for you. We don't want you to have that misconception. We do want you to know, though, that there are success stories with this. There are puppies that do make it. But the mortality rate is higher in puppies than it is with adult dogs. And to give you kind of like an idea of what that is, I'm gonna look it up and kind of give you a number, because I had the number, but I'm not exactly sure, and I want to be 100% sure.
You definitely want to do your best. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what you have to do. You just have to withhold the food. Well, they're not going to want to eat anyway, but you just have to keep them hydrated with the subcutaneous fluids. Keep them warm. That's imperative. That's pretty much all you can do. If the puppy is strong enough, only the strong survive, right? Some puppies, if the puppy is strong enough and you keep them alive and hydrated long enough, they'll start to heal themselves and then they'll regenerate.
So, pretty much it says that if your dog is untreated, then you have a 90% chance of it not making it.
I think it'd be higher than that, untreated.
It's very small times where, dogs untreated don't make it. That's not a puppy for sure. That's a big dog with some weight on it that got a good health system. So, because I can even tell you, with treatment, you probably got like an 85% chance with the puppy. An adult dog, treated, you pretty much, get out of the water. Princess got some fluids in her. She, she chilled out. I got a good vet, so at the time of us going through all this, it was very hectic for us. They took her into the vet. They gave her fluids and everything. She survived, but I'm not. Don't take me down on the science of this, but I believe the reason she survived so well is because her body had nutrients from the puppy she was carrying to give to her, so that while she was going through this not eating and drinking and everything, she had a reserve. And I think that's why her body absorbed the puppies and not just sit inside of her and have stillborn.
You know what's a trip? What I just realized right now is the 2 dogs that I said that were of weight that survived, that were older dogs, they are from the same litter.
Yeah.
As Princess.
Yeah.
Baby Boy and Honey caught it also.
Yeah.
It's really strange because at that time there was a whole outbreak in this whole across a couple of these counties. We're in, what county is this? Pierce County. We're in King County. There was an outbreak where there was parvo everywhere because I did not catch parvo from this yard.
No.
But I got it shortly after.
Yep. And I believe I got it from people coming to check out the puppies. I love when people come to check out the puppies, but for now on, there won't be any touching of the puppies unless you're taking the puppy home because, you know, I don't have the heart to deal with this with an outbreak of parvo again. That is some sad stuff. Like, if you've never had to deal with it, I pray to God that you never have to, because
it's like watching a family member die of cancer or AIDS or something right before your eyes. Like you're the caregiver and this person is dying of AIDS or cancer. You know what I'm saying? It's like the puppy, these beautiful puppies, I told you, we specialize in kitty pies. By the time they were about dead or almost dead, dying that day or whatever, they were not beautiful.
It's like you watching an unwrapped mummy.
Yeah, they look bad. And how I think I got it was I got a buddy that came over to take pictures. The only foreign thing that happened in my yard that week was that my boy came over to take pictures of the puppies. So I let all the puppies out. We're in their area and they're running around and he's picking them up and we're taking pictures. That's the only thing, but I went to the pet store that day too to get dog food. And he came over, and 2 days later, my outbreak just started.
And you go to the same Tractor Supply I go to?
River Road?
Yeah. So I don't think it was River Road because, like, I literally was going there all the time, and nothing had happened, and I hadn't been for a minute because I had them delivering food here, so I hadn't been for a minute. So I know it didn't come from Tractor Supply, but like.
It's kind of one of those things like the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where you caught it at. You don't know.
It just shows up.
Because if I didn't catch it at the Tractor Supply, and because my buddy have dogs too at his house, the one that came over to take the pictures, and none of his dogs caught it.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just like one of those things. Like I say, you have to assume that parvo is everywhere. And just keep your dogs protected from it. Instead of trying to hide from it and try to keep your dogs protected, I mean, like out of certain areas, you just have to assume that it's everywhere and just keep your dogs vaccinated. That's the best advice I can give you because I live on a hill and it was raining around that time too.
Yeah,
and somebody told me that if a dog was blocked up the hill with parvo, the rain could have washed it down. And then I could have stepped in it and brought it into the house.
And Princess caught parvo because she's still puppyish. She has a lot of energy. And when the puppies caught parvo, she would run from the door to their kennel to greet them. And she'd always stick her nose in there with them and stuff like that. And if you know puppies, they roll around. Their nose touches everything. She'd always make nose contact. And that's the reason she's the only dog that caught it, because she's the only dog that would go over there to check on them. And so she caught it. I know she probably wish she never did that, you know, but
another weird thing is that the 2 dogs that caught it in my yard were in the area with the other big dogs, and none of the other big dogs caught it. Only those 2 that they never went to the area where the puppies were. The puppies never came to their area, but some kind of way they caught it. Don't know how, and don't know how no other dog caught it. But, I mean, like I said, because of vaccinations, but those 2 dogs were vaccinated too, so it's such a weird thing, man. It's just a weird thing. It's just like the coronavirus, as far as I can tell. You can be vaccinated from the coronavirus, still catch it. You can say you hugged your friend and that's how you caught it, but who knows?
Who knows? And, but yeah, so.
Like Ashanti said, she was supposed to do that. She was supposed to do that versus battle, and she said her relatives came over and she hugged one of them, and she had to cancel the battle because she caught the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Is that how she really caught it?
I don't know. She could have just been walking through a restaurant. You want to make sure if you're going through Parvo that you have a few things. Stuff to hydrate them. Pup light or subcutaneous fluids. You want to make sure you have a syringe or a drip system. You want to make sure you keep your, if you have little puppies, you want to have some pup support, you know, because this definitely helps out, keeps them with energy and stuff, because energy is a big thing with them. And, you know, you want to have a little bit of this probiotic paste for little puppies also. It helps with the diarrhea. But the biggest thing is your hydration methods. Now, you want your puppy to be hydrated 1 cc in each shoulder, 1 cc in each thigh, and 1 cc and 3 cc's behind the neck. That there, how many times you should do that?
Well, you keep checking it as long, because what you want to do is blow a bubble. When you inject them, it's gonna swell up into a little ball of fluids. And when the fluid dissipates, when it goes flat, then you give them some more. It depends. You know what I'm saying? The babies, you'll be surprised how much fluid your body uses up. So, you know what I'm saying? It depends on, you know, different puppies on how long it'll take for that to dissipate. But you just keep your eye on it, on the bubbles. And when the bubbles are flat, you blow them back up. Give them some more fluids.
So yeah, feel free to tap in and find out a little bit more. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We got a variety of different topics we'll come at you guys with. But
check out the t-shirts.
Yeah, if you guys want to support,
This is
you
the
know,
first edition.
drop an order.
Second edition, Rush the Gold Dust. Order yours now.
You know, got beautiful things like this. You want to have some of this in your house? Just, you know, let us know. We got you, man. You know, support us with stars. You know, subscribe to our YouTube. Like, share, follow our posts on Facebook and IG. You should know where to find us. We Rush the Gold Dust Bullies.